Hello everyone and welcome to a game called Paper Snow. This is a kinetic visual novel talking about how once you and somebody you love part ways, they might find happiness that you could never bring them. It's kind of a sentiment I've been needing to feel for a while, so let's go ahead and start the game and see what kind of advice this game has to offer. This is Paper Snow. Let's go. The coldest, harshest winters. They're not out there, with the unrelenting wind, where the long gal hall howls, where warmth escapes for spring. It's here, in here, my love, in our once gentle home, where the hints of me are soiled, where the hints of me have wilted, frosted into dusk, thick as white snow. My absence begins to yawn. Our love grows a little too frail. Pages crease and crinkle, familiar with their purpose, as Anna gently unfolds a delicate wrapped lupin blossom from its bed between two well-loved poems. She strokes the buds reverently as she takes in their frozen beauty, waxen and fragile like the wings of a butterfly. Inna. It's a day or two away from being finished. A hardy breed representing strength and hope of a memory drawn close a lifetime ago. The flowers are wrapped in painful memories, but my attachments to them do not sway. Ina presses them to her lips. The lulling scent of sweet blossoms, heavy with the trappings of summer. A fragrance softly dampened only by the underlying tones of a dearly loved book. The scene before me is a striking image, and if I were a painter, I would have conjured a masterpiece. But I was not. I could not. So I wait patiently instead, allowing Ina to kiss an unspoken promise, and anticipate for her to diligently fold the lupin back into its covers. Safe, warm, and cherished. It won't be ready in time for the visit. I hope you don't mind. I smile softly as Ina sets the spine straight and presses heavily onto the covers, as if willing to process to hasten. Mallory. I don't. You already do so much for me. I wonder if you miss me as much as I miss you. And so much more, if only I could still show you. But Will alone is helpless to the march of time. Oh, but Will. Sunlight cascades past the drawn blinds, painting the room in the glow of a frosty dawn, while a lone mug of tea sits forgotten. Steam billows into the rays as the owner sits nearby, cozily wrapped up under a mountain of blankets, eyes buried deep in a book she could quote in her sleep. It's enduring in the most frustrating way possible, watching Ina block out the world in favor of a few lost moments in her treasured book. But it is my only published work, a collection of poems of my most wayward thoughts, feelings strewn across a page plotted against my best and worst days. It's the most distilled form of myself I left behind. It's possibly the only thing that brings Ina any comfort, the closest she can get to me in my absence. It's flattering in all the worst ways. I shake my depressing thoughts away. It's not good to think like that, Ina had once said. It'd only make things worse. So I smile instead, focusing my thoughts towards the forgotten tea and the beeping kitchen timer beside it. Its screen blinking up to me, insistently at me, while its shrill cry echoes past the hallway and into the living room, where Ina is currently reading. She doesn't even twitch. I chuckle to myself, torn between annoyance at the incessant beeping and fondness for Ina's superhuman ability to ignore everything when she's in love. It had been the thing that scared me the most when we first got together, but it was what drew me to her in the end, her unrepentant devotion. It's what makes it so hard to leave. And why do you leave? Night finally shelters the home in its long shade. The only living soul in it is busy with the closing task of the day. I wouldn't have called dishwashing melodic, but there is a great comfort in knowing someone goes about their day around you. Never far and never too out of reach. There when you need them most, a presence as steady as a heartbeat. I contemplate how much I've lost to the mundane where Ina's phone rings out. It's a shrill, chirpy melody grating against the backdrop of an unwinding evening. Ina's scowls echo my own. Who calls this late into the night? While Ina is busy drying off her hands, I float over to the ringing device to catch a glimpse of an unfamiliar name on the handphone screen. Kane? Whoever it was, Ina only seemed to brighten when she caught the name on the screen, rushing over to it, hurriedly accepting the call with a bright, cheerful hello. It was not the reaction I had expected. In fact, I've not seen her this excited in a long time. Not since my death. Oh, I'm a ghost. She talks animately, pacing the living room as the conversation flows and evolves, turning the hour into 2. It's a surprising and unwelcome development, an emotion like jealousy creeping in as I watch Ina forget the world around her, stretching the deadline for her chores as the night progresses. It's nearly midnight when she finally snaps out of her chat, and the envy that's been growing steadily in my gut finally levels up. Gasping in surprise and horror at the time, and all the things she has yet to do. The half-done dishes are long forgotten in the sink. I'm so sorry, Kane, but I have to go now. I still have a few more chores left to do, and I really can't miss going tomorrow. Ina sighed defeatedly, shuffling back into the kitchen to sort a few dry dishes away. I have to pick up flowers, and the cemetery is a long drive away. I don't want to be too sleepy on the road. There's an indistinct chatter on the other end. Whatever Kane says is enough to bring a bright smile to Ina's face. They're about to hang up when I hear it. A pin drop in the dead of the night. A voice calm, deep, and warm, whispering hesitantly so softly that I had to strain, but so sincerely that I was washed ice cold, fear through me. I want to see you soon. And both Ina and I froze. I wanted to scream. A no loud enough that it could have drawn out the glee in Ina's voice. Oh. This is like a personal hell, I guess. You die and then you watch your person of your love move on, away from all your memories, away from everything that you once knew, together. Your own personal hell. The comforting sound of familiar heeds drift down the hall, each step brushing off speckles of snow. Then the chimes by the door jingles, chimes we picked out together during my last summer, the telltale signs that she is coming back to me. This home is ours. It's my universe. A place for me to watch over her, to watch her yearn for me in the same way I yearn for her. The door swings open with a sigh of relief. The florist of my garden had finally come back to bring me life. The fatigue in her eyes, the weight on her shoulders, the misery in her heart. Oh, the florist is gonna create a zombie because she's gonna bring her back to life. Where were they today? The aura about her isn't so more so morose. Shortly after, another pair of footsteps echo, an unfamiliar, unwelcome rhythm. She's tall and domineering, with a commanding gaze and a light at her lips. Her droopy eyes trace every corner of the apartment, surveying the place as if it's prying into Ina's secrets, prying into our lives. This place won't divulge its secrets to you. Ayan is coming. Come on in. The whirlwind of thoughts brews up a storm in her once calm oasis. Ina steps behind Kanan to help her guest take off her jacket. Ina gently places her hands on her shoulders, feeling the warmth of her skin through her shirt. She leans in close, her lips brushing against her ear. Let me help you with your jacket. Her voice barely above a whisper. Too close. Kayan turns to face her, a small smile playing at the corner of her mouth. I'd like that. Her voice is low and husky. Get away. Ina's fingers deftly undo the button of Kayan's jacket, slipping it off her shoulders and hanging on the hook by the door. Stop. Ina couldn't resist the temptation to lean in and sneak a kiss to Kayan's shoulder, letting her lips linger for a moment before pulling her away. I can't bear to watch her move on. I can't bear to watch it. It's as if I died again. Kayan's presence lingers like her cigarette smoke. Miasma permeated our home and tainted everything it came in contact with. My book of poems on the radiator is soiled from her touch. She dared to rifle through the pages and inquire about Ina's flower pressing. Those flowers are for me and me alone. She's not welcome to them. How can you be so open about letting Kayan into our lives? What's shared between us is supposed to be special. It's the bond that keeps us together. Kayan so unceremoniously took my seat as you offered her afternoon tea. The void I left behind is being filled by another. I am so angry I couldn't even see straight. You, the person I thought I knew better than anyone else in the world, were replacing me. I started circling around the room, as if burning off the most palpable fury. But it wasn't enough. I needed to do something, to take action. I wonder if we could possess Kanan. So I picked up the nearest object, the teacup you offered Kanan, and hurled it across the room. It shatters against the wall, the shards of porcelain scattering everywhere. Bro, I just haunted this place. I wasn't done yet. I grabbed the arm of the couch and tip it over, feeling a sense of satisfaction as it crashes to the ground. I move on to the next piece of furniture, knocking over the chairs and end tables as I went. I don't know how long I raged like that, destroying everything in sight. All I knew was that I needed to let out my anger, to channel it into something tangible. And when I was finally spent, I collapsed on the floor, surrounded by the wreckage of my tantrum. I couldn't help but feel a sense of despair. I was but a ghost. None of my actions or words would ever reach you. Oh, we tried to haunt the place. We did not succeed. Like, we picked up the glass to shatter. Our hand probably just went right through it. The living room loomed over me in its perfectly pristine condition. Like nothing happened at all. I'm but an echo of someone you used to hold dear. I'm powerless to make an impact. Is this how you felt when you lost me? Did you cry as I do now? I mean, weren't you there? Don't you know if she cried? I wanted to be angry, furious even. But it's hard when Ina's eyes crinkle the same way it did when she had first looked at me all those years ago. A shy determination, a promise to make our fledgling relationship work. It's a good look on her. She's happy now. The happiest I've seen her since the accident. What right do I have in denying her that? Watching them now, eyes locked with a nervous hopefulness that mirrors ours so long ago, it's hard not to wish for them the best for them. And it's not like I've been completely forgotten and replaced. There is a pressed flower for me by my picture frame, and there's a metaphor in there if I search hard enough. A carefully preserved memory as faithful as she can make it. I think trying to do will down the nausea. The bitterness of watching someone be happy without you might never fade. But I can at least admit, in this very moment, that I don't think I've ever seen in a sight more beautiful, more reassuring than the way you smiled tonight. Because the truth is, it is good to see you happy. And that was Paper Snow. This was a story about I didn't know the character died. I thought we were gonna go out in public and then like see them with somebody else and they look so happy, but no, I died. And I'm just like a ghost, just like watching this all go down, and I'm not very happy about it. Honestly, who would be? Maybe it's not your own personal hell. Maybe it is at first because like you're angry because you want to be the person that your lover is obsessed over. You want to be that there with them. But then in the end, it brought her peace, I think, because she's happy that her lover is happy. She moved on, which is just just a nice ending. Yes. I hope you guys enjoyed Paper Snow like I did. Thank you guys so much for watching. The art for this was very beautiful, and I enjoyed the music. It was very calming throughout the whole read, so very good. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.